up? Happy Wednesday. Happy end of May. It's already almost into summertime. Is it feeling like summer where you guys are? It's starting to here in Georgia, and we're starting to feel the weather change. It's getting a little hotter, a little more humid. And I hope you guys are starting to feel the heat where you are. I love summer. I'm a warm weather guy. I'd rather be hot than cold any day. But anyway, you guys know me. I'm Stephen from the Skin Games. You may not recognize me. The mustache has people thrown off sometimes, but I'm letting it go. I'm loving it, and I don't care. Just don't care. Hey guys, I see you joining and waving. I appreciate you. We are 294 days, and those 294 days are going to go by quick. 294 days away from the Skin Games. The Skin Games X in Dallas, Texas. We will be at the Renaissance Hotel in Dallas this coming year for our 10th annual Skin Games. Hi there, Glow. I see you. And we are looking forward to it. And tonight we will be announcing something very special that we've never done before. We have Dominique Brandt, former Esthetician of the Year, joining us. And we were going to be talking about something we've never offered before, something educational, something totally beneficial to your career, something we feel like is really exciting that we are going to be offering in conjunction with CIDESCO International. If you don't know what CIDESCO is, or you've heard a little bit but not enough, we're going to listen to what Dominic has to say when it comes to CIDESCO and a little bit about how it changed her career, and then make an announcement about some really cool, something very, very cool that we're going to be offering this year at the Skin Games in Dallas. If you don't know, the Skin Games is the biggest, most unique international skincare event / competition of its kind. We have competitions for waxing, sugaring, skin, lash lift, brow lamination, facial massage, almost anything under the sun for you skincare pros out there. And join us. If you're a potential player or just an attendee, somebody who's never been before, come join us in Dallas for the Skin Games 10. Hey, there she is. That was easy this time. You got to turn the video around, Dominic, and we'll have you. There you go. Hey, it was easier than last time. Last time was a
A lot
fiasco.
easier. A lot easier. But I don't see you right now, so hopefully that comes together.
Oh, that's weird. That's happened to me before where I didn't see the other person, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to act like I see him. But no, you look
got
great.
the
I
mustache
see you.
imprinted in my mind, so I see you, Stephen.
You've seen me.
I see you.
But you haven't seen the mustache, I don't think. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't.
I mean, I seen it just a second. It looks good. I'm loving it. I'm not mad at it. It's strong.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that, Dominic. So for those of you that don't know, we're going to reintroduce her now, and I'm going to let her talk about a couple of things, including the Skin Games herself, what it did for her career, and more importantly, Taylor says she sees us both, so that's good news. And more importantly, her journey in and with CIDESCO International. I know Dominic is a CIDESCO diploma holder, so we will get into that here in just a minute. Along with Dominic's success at the Skin Games, she has also prepared an amazing course. For those of you that don't know, I want to do a quick plug on Dominic's course, How to Prepare a Winning Case Study by a Former Esthetician of the Year. This was something last year we saw the dozens, I believe, of estheticians take advantage of and go on to become finalists and win awards. So I wanted Dominic to talk a little bit about that later as well. But without further ado, Dominic, tell the audience who you are. I see you guys saying hello. I appreciate you. Tell the audience who you are and about your journey with the Skin Games.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Dominique Brandt. I'm a licensed master esthetician and esthetician instructor, CIDESCO diploma holder, and CEA certified. And I was the 2022-23 esthetician of the year. It was my first year competing, and I was not expecting to win esthetician of the year, but to the whole point of this series today, I would definitely say that CIDESCO played a major part in that success. As Stephen mentioned, I do offer a course, How to Prepare a Winning Case Study by an Esthetician of the Year, and proceeds of that course are donated to the compassion category for the Skin Games. And it was my first year in business that I decided to compete in the Skin Games. I had seen it before as a student and told myself, one day I'm going to compete in the Skin Games. And I went ahead and I jumped for it. And at first, I was pretty intimidated. I am not typically comfortable in front of the camera, but it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone and propelled me right into, becoming esthetician of the year. And since then, I've had some great successes follow after that. Um, CIDESCO is something that when I was looking for schools, so back in 2017, when I started looking for esthetician schools, I had come across one school that told me that they offered CIDESCO, meaning that they were a certified school by CIDESCO International. CIDESCO is a nonprofit organization
Yeah.
headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland,
Hmm.
and they are the international beauty standard for aesthetics, massage, and body care. And in the back of my mind, I always knew, me being an Air Force veteran, that I wanted to go back overseas. And having something like CIDESCO would afford me that. So similar to how we have reciprocity across the states, having this CIDESCO diploma gives you essentially reciprocity around the world. So there was no questions after that, right? I went with that school, and about 3 years after, I did the CIDESCO program. Very rigorous.
Mm.
You do have to have a certain amount of hours already under your belt in school, and then you also have to have work experience. Similar to the skin games, you had to conduct case studies.
Right.
So I did multiple case studies, wrote a report that was then submitted. And then the day before the major test, the event, you do 100 question multiple choice test.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it is a rigorous 8 hour test, a grilling, if you will. You come and you have to be presentable. That is a major thing that you are judged on, is
Right.
how you present. You have a model that is randomly selected for you, and you go through facial cleansing, makeup removal, eyelash and eyebrow tinting, brow tweezing, um, facial exfoliation, waxing, a body treatment, a body massage. We even painted fingernails. So the diploma that I got specifically was, it's a diploma. It's called the CIDESCO Beauty Therapy International Diploma. And that is of the highest diploma that you can get. But, it was tough. And what I learned during that test was the ability to speak for yourself, to justify your answers, and to not be intimidated when you're asked, why did you choose that product? Tell me about this
Mm.
client's skin. And what I learned from that, the big takeaway was really thinking about my client and my treatments critically, and not
Mhm.
just selecting something from a protocol because that's what the next step
Right.
is. Not just selecting a product because it looks good, feels good, smells good, or the marketing is great on it. You have to understand what the key ingredients are and
Mm.
how they align with your client's skin type, skin conditions, and skin goals. And that's what CIDESCO really forced you to do. So with all that said, when I came to the skin games, it was just plug and play for me.
Right.
It made a lot of sense where, okay, I've got a case study. I've got these notes. By the way, Stephen, this was at the time when there was no template. It was just a blank page for you to write anything that you thought was relevant to your case study. And that's what I used. I used kind of the template that I was given for
Right.
CIDESCO. And it worked.
Sounds a lot to me, Dominic. First of all, thanks for going into that in detail. I think there are a lot of people out there, one, who don't really know what CIDESCO entails. And if you're
Mhm.
watching this and haven't been in the skin games, you don't know what that entails. There is sort of a lot of overlap. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
It sounds like CIDESCO kind of prepared you and like made the skin games a little more palatable for you, right? Like, because it is a lot, especially if you've never done the skin games. Like, there are case study notes, there are case studies that you film and check in every couple of weeks. There is an interview in which your presentation really does matter. You mentioned
Yes.
presentation. We do focus on that for a portion of the scoring at the skin games. We feel like, you look good, feel good, play good is what they
Right.
say in sports, and it's sort of how they do it. It matters, right? The way we present, the way we come across, professionalism. Tell me, so would you say, again, you already kind of mentioned this, but you truly you believe that CIDESCO helped you when it came to the skin games? You mentioned you were sort of intimidated, you didn't know what to expect, but it sounds like CIDESCO helped you really cross that bridge when it came to the skin games. It was almost like, oh, I've done this before.
It did feel like that. It was definitely, oh, I've done this before. I've put case studies together.
Yeah.
And again, this was at the time when it was just a blank sheet, a blank box for you to write your case study notes in. And yeah, I went back to what I knew was relevant. The kind of questions that I was asked were, what are the key ingredients? What is the skin type? Does your product align with your client's skin concerns? So I
Mhm.
knew all of those things were relevant. I knew it was important to, again, not just follow a protocol. Anybody can do that, but it was to develop your own protocol and justify those step-by-step decisions that you make, because every decision in the facial matters. Not only that, but something I look at and what I coach on is for your videos, how comfortable does your client look? That's part of presentation. How do you look in that video? Is your hair falling on your client? Is your hair pulled back? Are your fingernails short? These were all the same things that CIDESCO looked at. Do you look like an esthetician? Do you respect the cleanliness, the hygiene, the appearance of the esthetician? Are you respecting yourself in that way? And does your client look comfortable, right? I remember one of the things we got graded on was if your client's head wrap, fell back some, or if the towel was falling off of the neck, did you fix it? Did you put it back in place? And that's something I thought about during my demonstrations. And that's something I look at now at videos is like, ooh, that client does not look comfortable. And this is something that I mentioned to those I coach. So yeah, CIDESCO like really laid out the standard for me as an esthetician. And that standard helped, you know, in the skin games.
Yeah, and you mentioned something I didn't even know, but the reciprocity, or think about at least, is the reciprocity piece of that. I know Dominic was at least, I'm sure you probably still are planning on relocating to Germany.
Yes.
And it sounds like that sort of fell into place that you knew and understood that you may be traveling the world, you may live in other places, and it sounds like that carries a lot of weight. I know that CIDESCO, like you said, is centralized in Zurich, Switzerland, but this, especially in Europe, you guys, like, and in Asia, the name CIDESCO, as Dominic mentioned, it carries a lot of weight in the industry. It's like the international beauty standard. So for
Mm-hmm.
us, this is not only something that we are really excited about, we're very proud to be at this point in our 10th year now partnered with that. And the reason we're talking about CIDESCO so much today is because we have a really special announcement that we're going to make tonight, right? So the Skin Games, being what it is an international skincare event and competition. We do have some overlap with CIDESCO. We've had conversations with them over the years about how we may join forces, right? And we are lucky to have them as open-minded as they are. And this year will be our first year. It won't be the same certification as Dominic's talking about right now. However, we will be offering this year a special CIDESCO certification. This is an international, CIDESCO international certification in the realm of facial massage. So this will be a game changer in terms of, like Dominic said, reciprocity, in terms of international beauty standards, in terms of your experience, certification, and knowledge as an esthetician. This will carry a lot of weight. You will actually be able to come to the Skin Games in Dallas for the Skin Games 10, sit for this exam, which will be proctored by a CIDESCO diplomat, and you will be able to become licensed as a CIDESCO international esthetician in the realm of facial massage. So what does that mean? That means you need to sign up for this as soon as possible. Space is limited in this. We will be offering this up until space is sold out. These are going to be, it's $399, you guys, for this certification at the Skin Games through CIDESCO International. This is CIDESCO certification. This is not a Skin Game certification. This is through CIDESCO International, through Zurich, Switzerland. So that being said, this is something, as Dominic just said, that can change the course of your career, that can change the way I think that we see, we are seeing in a professional lens. Somebody said, okay, oh my God, yes, tell me where to go. I'm going to tell you where to go, guys. So I've already seen you guys. I'm doing it. I'm signing up, right? We're going to be opening up registration tomorrow. We've finished the launch process of this. We've had our meetings with Gerard and Erica and Timia at CIDESCO International. We will be launching this tomorrow. There will be a registration link on the registration page for theskingames.com. So for those of you that are going to be registering as players, you will have the option to opt into this CIDESCO certification test at the Skin Games while you register. If you're already registered or you're not going to be a player, we will have a link on the website at www.theskingames.com at our drop-down menu and participate. You will be able to opt in and pay for this class, register for it, and sit to be a CIDESCO internationally licensed facial massage expert. I also want to say there are some certifications that are required for it. There are some, not certifications, but yeah, actually, you must be a licensed esthetician for at least 2 years and have a proper license under in your state under the scope of practice, and have to have there are some prerequisites that are involved in this. So we will also be listing those in the website just to be sure that you guys aren't signing up for something that you're not ready for. So if you have less than 2 years, that will be something that holds you back. But hey, that just means that in a year or two, whenever, you will be able to sit for this test. Hopefully at the Skin Games, we're going to be doing a lot more with CIDESCO in the future. This is sort of dipping our toe into this. We've seen a lot of people already expressing interest in this. I see you guys at the bottom. Will this be going on when we have to be judging? No, we're going to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to sit for this, Angel. So don't worry about it. Can sponsors register too? Absolutely. Anybody who is a licensed esthetician with at least 2 years of experience will be able to sit for this CIDESCO certification at the Skin Games in Dallas. I want to go back to Dominic on this and sort of just reiterate the importance of what this has meant for her career. So we mentioned that, Dominic already mentioned that it was a great lead-in sort of to what to expect at the Skin Games. This is not the international, like, highest ranking certification you can get. I do feel like it's a really, really good shoe-in and a really good opportunity for people to understand what testing, like you mentioned how rigorous it was, right? First of all, Dominic, do you know about specifically the facial massage portion is one question. And then a lead into that, what sort of rigorous sort of, like, what can people, I think, expect when it comes to, like, preparing for this test? We're going to be able to prepare them with guidelines and what they need to know, but, like, what should people go into this expecting when it has to do with CIDESCO?
Okay, so one, I have not taken that certification. However, based off of the diploma that I did, I would for sure be prepared to dress the part, right? If
Yeah.
you're massaging, your nails should be short and clean. I would make sure that my hair is pulled back. And again, you want very clean, primmed presentation. The next thing I would imagine is making sure that your ergonomics and your posture are intact, being
Yes.
mindful of your ergonomics. And then I would imagine that if you're doing facial massage, I would imagine that they might even ask you, what muscle group are you stimulating right now?
Correct.
I would imagine that they're going to ask you, what is the massage technique you're using? Are you doing tapotement? Are you doing effleurage? I would imagine that they're going to ask you that. And I would imagine that you're going to prep the skin before you go into the massage. So know what is in your cleanser, whatever you're prepping. Make sure that you know what those ingredients are, the 3 key ingredients, and how they perform on the skin. I would also know the 3 key ingredients of whatever massage lotion or oil that I'm using, and how that in and of itself affects the skin. I believe that they're going to be looking for whether or not your oil is running down the face. And if it is, are you catching it? Your dressing, right? Your headbands, making sure that your client is comfortable. And I think that's what they'll be looking for. Yeah.
But it sounds also, and I think this is something really important to understand about the Skin Games and CIDESCO, is that this is more than just knowing what you're doing. It's also
Mhm.
knowing how to talk about, understand on a deeper level and convey that um, calmly, probably, and
Mhm.
accurately to people who are running the exam, to judges at the skin games, right? Like this is exactly, Brenda. I see attention to detail. Dominic, you mentioned this a lot when you talk about case studies and when we do case study notes. It sounds very similar in that we're talking everything from posture to presentation of our hands and our hair, the ability to converse with somebody who's presenting us with a question that we need to be able to discuss in detail what we're doing and how we're doing it. So attention to detail sort of and failing to prepare, right, is preparing to fail, is what we hear, is what we hear in life, right? So it sounds a lot like we're going to need to understand how to talk about what we're doing.
Yeah. I would go as far as even the second you step into that test room, they're already grading you.
Right.
Again, I always touch on professionalism. And while, of course, everybody's going to express their self and their personality and their appearance in different ways, it doesn't stop you from making sure that however you express yourself still fits professionally. The way you speak is professional. The way you present is professional. And the second you walk into that testing room, they're going to be grading you. Even getting your client. I remember being in the elevator with someone, with a competitor, a wax competitor last year. And we were in the elevator and she was telling me, I'm about to go compete. And I said, be very mindful, even down to how you give instructions to your model. So you're going to have a model, they'll probably be standing up. Make sure that you're giving your model instructions. Please go ahead and lie down. Let me know if you're uncomfortable. This is what I'm
Mm,
going to do next. Go ahead and
mhm,
relax.
mhm.
Every single bit of it, every single bit, I think they're going to judge.
Yeah, yeah, great. Yeah, that's really good advice. I have a question about international as it compares to United States
Mhm.
expectations. Is there something different? And you mentioned reciprocity. So is it so CIDESCO seems to me, and I think it's going to be and continue to get bigger and bigger here in the United States. A lot of people have heard of it. I don't think there are enough estheticians who know about it and want to be a part of it, which is, I think, is going to help both CIDESCO and the Skin Games. It's going to be this mutual partnership where we help them gain more traction, especially with this crowd at the Skin Games, which we want. This is the whole thing. It's not all about the Skin Games and it's not all about CIDESCO. It's that we're overlapping at this point and we see the common ground. So do
Mhm.
you think that, one, two questions. CIDESCO ought to be more widely recognized in the United States. Is it widely recognized enough? And are the international standards higher than the American standards?
Is the CIDESCO standards higher than the United States standards? I don't want to say that it's better. I think it's just gone more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, in the United States, every single state has different
Correct.
standards. So it's hard to compare 50 different standards to one cohesive
Right.
standard
Right.
across the world. So I think they've just, again, it's one standard, not many. And they've gone more into depth and they've gone as far as making sure that you, as the esthetician, has the ability to think critically,
Mm-hmm.
to justify their choices, and to be able to work outside of a protocol. Um, so I'll,
And
I'll,
it's
I'll put it that
and it's
way.
not
What was-
but it's not easy too, and it shouldn't be, right? Like
Mhm.
becoming a professional athlete isn't easy. Becoming an esthetician who like an award-winning esthetician isn't easy. The skin games isn't easy. Like you have
Mhm.
to know what you're doing. You have to know how to talk about what you're doing. It sounds like CIDESCO holds their diploma holders to the highest standard. It sounds like this is going to help people, whether it's the highest level of CIDESCO certification or something like this, where you're going to be a facially massaged licensed CIDESCO diploma holder. They're going to need to know how it's the highest degree, it sounds like to me, of professionalism. So
Yes.
this isn't something, this is going to be something that is absolutely, I feel like, instrumental to the success of your career. Calling yourself, not just calling your, what does it do, I guess, is a good question for your career to become CIDESCO, become a CIDESCO diploma holder.
I think it
What will it
prepares you
do
for
for
the
the estheticians at the
longevity.
skin games?
I think I think it gives you longevity in
Okay.
this career field.
Yeah.
For sure. Because again, you can only go so far depending on the marketing jargon of the product lines that you buy into. When do you step outside of that and start thinking for yourself?
Mm.
When do you step out of, step away and start creating your protocols? And when, again, do you stop just repeating the marketing jargon about the ingredients and the benefits? And when do you start looking at the bottle and finding those key ingredients? When do you start combining that with what's actually happening with your client's skin and their needs and their goals and sensitivities and all of those things? When do you slow down and really take the consultation process seriously? When do you start asking about what they're eating and how they're sleeping and all of those things? So, you know, you've got to be holistic in a sense. And again, I think that having all of those skills as an esthetician gives you that longevity, and the skin games helps you take those skills and showcase them and helps you kind of prove what you got. I definitely
Yeah.
feel like it gave me a voice, and what I mean by that is, again, going back to that rigorous 8-hour exam, I'm able, if somebody asks me, "Hey, why did you pick this?" I can tell you off the bat. I know why I picked it. I didn't just pick it because it was the next step. I can tell you exactly why I picked this product. And I think it gives you longevity, and
Yeah.
it gives you what you need to pass, not pass, but win, win and place in the skin games.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's super important in a career field where sometimes people find themselves fizzling out very quickly and don't last necessarily a really long time. So this sounds like this could be a game changer when it comes to that. Speaking of game changers, Dominic was our game changer of the year last year, and the reason Dominic received that award was because on our end we felt like we saw her go above and beyond, not just in previous years as a award-winning player and former director of our advanced education. She's held a number of different positions sort of with us now over the years and been involved in a number of different ways. But Dominic went above and beyond, and, as she always does, when it came to the mentorship that she was providing. So we've already mentioned this. I want to mention it one more time. For those of you that don't know, please message Dominic at Brave Skin Remedy or reach out to her via DM. Dominic, if you want to let them know another way to reach out to you for the how to become or how to prepare a winning case study from a award from a esthetician of the year. Dominic, how can they get a hold of you for that first?
Yes. So if you would like to take the course, the online pre-recorded course, How to Prepare a Winning Case Study, you can go into at Brave Skin Remedy here on Instagram, go into the bio, go into courses and resources and coaching, and you will find it there from my
Perfect.
Thinkific link. You'll also see there other resources like a consultation guide for estheticians, and you'll also see an offer for independent players for one-on-one coaching. All of that can be found in my bio on the link on the bio site. If you are being sponsored by ProCell, I am the coach for them. But again, you don't have to be sponsored by anyone specific to get my help. I am here to help you in many different ways. I have many people contact me, but a lot of you don't follow through. So if you want it, you'll come get it. You know where I'm at. Just DM me.
Somebody said, can you drop your Instagram again, please?
Yeah.
Somebody just did. I see that. Thank you, Keisha. It's at
Yep.
Brave Skin Remedy, all one word, Brave Skin Remedy.
Yes.
And I will just say I can vouch for Dominic in that she, again, I just want to reiterate, guys, she coached a very high number of finalists and award winners last year at the Skin Games, hence leading to her Game Changer of the Year award. And I can just say that Dominic does a terrific job in everything that she does, and she will make sure that you know what to do. But as Dominic said, you got to follow through. And we see that happen
Yeah.
time and time again from people at the Skin Games as well. But lastly, I want to say again, guys, the announcement tonight was about CIDESCO. Dominic told us what this would entail. I think this is why it's so important that we have her here tonight, is to sort of the overlap between what we do at the Skin Games and CIDESCO is now becoming one. So it's going to be a really amazing opportunity for you as an esthetician and beauty professional with at least 2 years of experience to become a CIDESCO International Certified Esthetician in the realm of facial massage. This will be carried out at the Skin Games 10, March of 2026, 19th to the 22nd, 2026, at the Renaissance Addison Hotel in Dallas, Texas. You'll be able to sit for this exam and afterwards, hopefully, become a CIDESCO diploma holder in the realm of facial massage. That will be $399. We will be starting registrations for this tomorrow on the skingames.com. If you are a player or are going to register as a player, it will also be available as an option on our registration page to become a player. Jump on the opportunity. Space will be limited. There are not going to be a few hundred seats for this. We are talking a few dozen, probably, maybe up to 100 seats for this, depending on space at the venue. So get on this opportunity now. If you don't see it tomorrow, message us. Be like, Stephen, I don't see it, because I know a bunch of you right there are already like, I'm going to do this. So make sure you jump on the opportunity to not only attend the Skin Games and get all the benefits of the event in Dallas, but to become a CIDESCO diploma holder. Dominic, you got something else to say there?
I do. I do. I can't help but bring up Kelly Walcott's name, Director of Judges.
Yes,
She
CIDESCO
too is a
diploma holder.
CIDESCO diploma holder. And I bring that up because when you find another CIDESCO diploma holder or certificate holder, it's exciting, right? You get this beautiful pin that you can wear. When I come to the Skin Games, I like to wear it. And, you get this, look at this beautiful diploma.
Yeah.
So, it's I would say an organization that really takes its certification seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nothing but good things to say. And I hope that you become part of the CIDESCO crew.
And I hope, lastly, that we know that what really makes this big for us at the Skin Games is it's not easy.
Yeah.
Honestly, is that it's something that we know is going to help you, like Dominic said, in terms of career longevity, in terms of leveling up your professionalism, leveling up your knowledge, leveling up your, that's what we're all about. So when we did this, when we announced it, when we came to this decision with CIDESCO, it was like, this is amazing. It's a win-win. Us and CIDESCO have the same sort of standards. We have the same sort of path in that we require the case studies and require the in-depth knowledge and the professionalism. And we are international, but we're big in the United States. They're really big international. So we feel like this may pull some players internationally to come join us at the Skin Games as well from Asia and Europe. This is going to be a win-win, guys. So again, I cannot wait to have and see a bunch of you signing up for this and see you at the Skin Games preparing for this. I know a bunch of you are commenting already. So look for this registration, look for the opportunity to sign up for this certification and diploma tomorrow. And again, Dominic, thank you for coming on and talking about 1 year experience at the Skin Games, which has been, remarkable to see and be a part of, as somebody who's been there just to see your journey the last few years and to talk about your CIDESCO experience as well. Let's see, was literally looking into CIDESCO the other day before you said you were announcing something, taking it as a sign. Absolutely, it's a sign. We can't wait to see you guys signing up, and we will be releasing more information on this as the days progress very soon. So as soon as tomorrow. So if you have questions, be on the lookout at theskingames.com. Be sure to message us if you don't see something and you have a question. Message Dominic for access to how to prepare a winning case study, and for any CIDESCO questions as well, right, Dominic?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Reach out to me.
Thank you, Dominic. We appreciate you, and we will be in touch soon.
Bye,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.